money goes, give it up willingly. Do not, this is why we pray. This is why we try to get that attachment to that consciousness. Because whatever go, let it go willingly. Do not brood of it, but it's difficult for us to do that. It is not easy for us to do that. Your child leaves your home and he or she has gone, you will be worried about it. We can't let it go willingly. It's difficult because of the attachment that we have. Our prayer though, if you want to have equipoise of mind, if you want to have peace, if you want to have tranquility, you have to learn to let go of whatever has gone and to welcome what comes in your life. Ego is what disturbs us. The ego is not responsible for our living. Remember this. Our living, our light of consciousness, etc., is not because of our ego. Our ego comes from our involvement into the world and involvement of those around us, our desires that comes up, our desires that are satisfied, our desires that are not satisfied, our ego get hurt. You hear someone says something about you, how hurt you become. You hear someone says good thing about you, how elated you become. Don't depend upon these things. And don't depend upon what people tell you. People tell you only what they want you to hear. It's basic common sense. People only tell you what you want to hear. And when they go behind your back, they tell something else. So prayer is to make the mind strong. If your mind is strong, you can do these things. But what prevents us from this? What prevents us from this is what we have been born with, what we have come with, the attachments we have come with, the tendencies that we are born with, the tendencies to love, the tendency for greed, the tendency to jealousies, the tendency to be bad to people. All these things causes our ego to what? To be inflated. And another thing why we pray for in this world is that we must try to forgive. But to forgive another person, you have to have a lot of love in your heart. When you cannot forgive totally, it means there is still a lot of shortage of love in you. Okay, if we can't forgive, let us not forgive. But let us not continue to hate. Let us not continue to despise. And the conduct of man is dependent upon two things: might and mercy. When you have might, you show your power. You show your ego. You show how great you are. And you take advantage of others. And mercy is related to kindness. So we pray in this world to remove our might. And in the place of might, let mercy flows in. When that mercy flows into you, this is all the reason why you pray. When mercy flows into you, you become one of the greatest karma yogi. That karma yogi who works not for himself. And although people may say a million things against him, when you become a good karma yogi, people will say a million things against you. You are the good karma yogi. Karma yogi means the one who works for the sake of society. He is not perturbed. He is not perturbed. He continues on his road to doing good. Because what? His heart is filled with mercy and not might. These are the reasons why we pray. A great karma yogi is better than a renunciant, a sannyasi. Because you have to live in the world, you have to look after your family, you have to look after your friends, etc. You have to be with them. And if you can be a person who will work and do not look for any reward whatsoever, in some scriptural text, it is said that that karma yogi is even greater than a renunciant or a sannyasi. These are the reasons why we pray. And the prayer that we said last week, which I taught on television, Rama Rameti, that prayer, I would like to say it again today, means that's the prayer which Lord Shiva told to Parvati, that please say this prayer, learn this prayer. Instead of repeating Vishnu's name 1,000 times, you say this prayer is equivalent.
At Lotus Insurance Group, we can provide to you all your insurance need, residential, commercial, dump truck, whatever life insurance.